All right, ladies and gentlemen, let's go ahead and get this started. We just came away from a fantastic One Piece chapter, and I have a feeling that this My Hero Academia chapter is going to be amazing just as well. So let's go ahead and get the formalities out of the way, shall we? Yo, peoples, Kyushu92 here, and welcome back to yet another iteration of My Hero Academia. Last we left off, we had a moment where, did you miss the One Piece reaction? Yes, Dewan, you did. You did. It was a perfect 10 out of 10. The hype was unreal. The screaming was unreal. To go through the chapter itself was absolutely amazing. It was fantastic. For a break to come out of a month chapter, you've been waiting all day and didn't get a notification? I don't know why YouTube does not let people know when I stream. Everyone. Not just people who tune in every single time, but every single person affiliated. I'm getting kind of tired of it because it's annoying because you missed out because YouTube chose not to notify you. Midoriya Shonen, good to see you, but I'm sorry that YouTube neglected, because it wasn't me. It was YouTube that neglected to inform you that my One Piece stream was live. And it was fantastic, but I'm actually quite sad now that you weren't able to join in with everyone else, because I had like 23 people in there. That's like big numbers. For me, that's big numbers. So I was surprised when people were in there. But you got the MHA notification, but not that one. You two, go home. You drunk. You're supposed to be letting everyone know whenever I do anything. That includes One Piece streams. Why? Dewan, on behalf of YouTube, because they're not going to apologize to you, on behalf of them, I apologize that you missed out on the live stream. Please, I'm sorry. I'm upset that you actually missed out and you actually wanted to watch it. I'm sorry. I'm sorry that that happened to you. I really am sorry that happened to you. My bad. I'm sorry. Had I known, I would have been double checking and letting people know in the community tab. I did say 1 o'clock in the community tab. Hopefully you get those as well. But Dewan the Don, sorry. I am so sorry on their behalf. So sorry. But I gotta keep going with My Hero. I gotta keep going with My Hero. But I wonder if I gotta do something to make it so that people always get notified. You know, tell people to hit the bell and then all notifications or whatever. I don't know what I have to do in order to make sure that no one ever misses out on something they actually want to tune in on again. Last we left off in the last chapter of My Hero Academia, Bakugo was going up against Shigaraki. And they were fighting, and everyone's fighting. Everyone's doing their part to keep the city afloat. Bakugo uses Howitzer Impact Cluster, which blows a hole through the UA Fortress with an explosion so big and so large that it completely eclipses the size of the UA Fortress floating in the air. But Shigaraki catches Bakugo's arm. And though I didn't say that he lost his arm forever, Shigaraki, under the influence of All For One, because you know the consciousness of All For One resides in his original quirk that's in Shigaraki right now. It took him over. It was saying like, oh, your power is great, and such power, such ferocity. That's why this has got to go. And then Shigaraki takes Bakugo's arm and then crushes it. Now, he didn't take his arm off completely. He just mangles it beyond recognition. Bakugo's arm is just crushed straight through down to the very bone, and he breaks his arm. And Bakugo is left with like a useless arm now, while the rest of the heroes are trying to convene on Bakugo and trying to take care of him. But Shigaraki is using his borderline superhuman abilities to fend off everyone. Like with his growth of fingers, he uses it to bat away people like Edgeshot and Best Jeanist and Mirko. And then as this is going on, he's proclaiming all this stuff and doing his villain monologue. Then it shows Amajiki getting out of some rubble in a nearby building in the background, along with Nejire. And then we have Lemillion. Why was I about to say Vermilion? We have Lemillion phase through the ground saying it's time for the big three to step up to the plate. So let's go ahead and check out this chapter. Let me get rid of this One Piece chapter so that it doesn't interfere with anything. Chapter 360, Despite It All. And then it cuts to Shigaraki as he's standing over Bakugo, standing on his head going, Izuku Midoriya was supposed to be here, right? And he's just standing on the head of Bakugo as he's causing more growths of his arm that he has. It's just growing massively out of one hand. Izuku Midoriya was supposed to be here, right? Next, Pastel. Totally need to read the My Hero Academia manga. It's fantastic. Kevin D, good to see you here as well. Hope everyone who's new here enjoys themselves. Izuku Midoriya was supposed to be here, right? So he's bound to show up soon, huh? On that note, having my quirk erased right now is a blessing in disguise. And then Bakugo says, shut up! And he tries to blast Shigaraki. But Shigaraki pulls Bakugo by the hair with his feet, which is disrespectful. He pulls Bakugo by the hand with his feet and then kicks him into the air. And then he grabs Bakugo by the throat while destroying the grenade guard that he had on his hand, going, cause your corpse will be left intact. Yes, he'll have a lovely present waiting when he arrives. Remember his sheer fury when I poked you full of holes last time? You once said you've always admired All Might's triumphs. Well, it's time for a reality check, Katsuki Bakugo. And then it shows Bakugo being covered in all these fingers. And then what is happening to Bakugo? It's almost as if Bakugo is being stabbed all over by all of these fingers because it shows like sprays of blood everywhere, as if the fingers are taking him over and then they're crushing him in the growth. But then it cuts back to Bakugo and he's still fine. He's still fine as Shigaraki goes, no matter the heights you reach, you'll never be more than Izuku Midoriya's hanger-on, a minnow in One For All's wake. And then all of a sudden, Nejire comes from behind with, Nejire wave, pike! And then using her shockwaves, like her swirly shockwaves, she tries to jab at Shigaraki, but Shigaraki sees this and uses Bakugo as a shield. And Nejire has to aim it away while Shigaraki uses his fingers to try and launch towards her. And then two giant scorpion tails come in and they stab into Shigaraki's arm. Vast hybrid, octopus mirage, plus Scorpius toxin. Eating bugs is all the rage these days. So he actually ate some scorpions in order to have scorpion tails. And then Shigaraki looks as he sees part of his body starting to rot as it goes, oh, venom. But his body immediately heals from the toxin. Immediately. You see his shoulder. You see his shoulder get darkened from the poison, but then his body heals over it, as if it didn't affect him at all. Pathetic, he says, as... Oh, no. What the heck? That's not his body forming over it. His body opens up like a mouth, and the mouth spits out the venom. I thought he could only grow fingers over his body. He can grow other body parts as well now? Because that's a mouth. Wow, he's evolving even further. So the finger growths that used to just come out of his left hand have now evolved to include fully toothed mouths in them now. And they erupt out of the ground, finger growths with mouths. This This is some John Carpenter the Thing type body horror nonsense that's going on right now. Because growths shoot up out of the ground around Amajiki, and it's finger growths, but it has mouths with full tongues that are also made out of finger growths in it. It's just disgusting. My body continues to adapt. Scurry away, little insects. Nothing can bring me down. And then it shows Lemillion holding on to Bakugo as he's using his permeation to phase through all these fingers, and then he throws Bakugo into the air as he goes, Genus! As he throws Bakugo into the air, and Genus grabs Bakugo in midair. And then Mirio goes, here we go. I remember your stupid face from Jakku. The name's Lemillion. I'm the hero on messenger and bodyguard duty. Count on me to fight off any other villains who might crash our party and spread intel around without delay. They need someone quick and mobile here, and that's me. So why do you destroy? And then he just casually phases through all these fingers, avoiding them as he's talking to Shigaraki going, so, why do you destroy? Because the current framework has failed. And then it shows Nejire trying to find out where Mirio is, and she uses her shockwaves to hold on to Lemillion as he goes, oh, I get it. You've never had any friends. And then Shigaraki just full on stops. And then he just goes, huh? And then Lemillion is thinking to himself, I can get in close, sure, but on my own, I can't deal hard-hitting damage. That's why I gotta escort Hato's energy waves to point-blank range. Otherwise, you'd realize there's plenty worth keeping around. And then it shows him using Hato's ability around his fist to punch Shigaraki square in the midsection. Until Midoriya shows up, I'll keep Shigaraki on the ropes. Then it cuts to Best Jeanist as he's holding on to Bakugo, as he goes, allow me to suture your right arm, Dynamite. No delay, we still have need of your firepower. And he's holding on to Bakugo, but Bakugo is still on the ground, not saying anything. As he's gripping, like pulling into the ground itself. What Shigaraki said to him must be hitting him hard. And then we see Bakugo, and he's bloodied, but we don't see his full-on face. We don't even see his eyes. We don't even see his mouth. And Best Jeanist says, your arm, please. We'll figure something out later. This foe is beyond any of us. He's surpassed all the expectations. We're all past the point of exploiting your previous encounters with Shigaraki. That was a stellar showing. You've done enough. And then it comes to Bakugo as he says, right side. Finger. Faint. And then Best Jeanist, and Bakugo is still muttering to himself. And then Best Jeanist realizes, even now, this boy, despite everything, he's still... Wow, Bakugo still wants to fight. He still wants to fight, but apparently he knows where Shigaraki's weakness is. Because where Shigaraki's body is growing and evolving through, is predominantly on his left side, because that's the same hand where he actually lost some fingers due to Redestro during the fight way back in Deika City. So that's where all the finger growths are coming from. They're coming from that one arm and engulfing him. But his right side, that's the part that hasn't evolved like the left. So Bakugo knows that's where Shigaraki hasn't quite become so omnipotent. Which is disrespectful. Yeah, you're right. Yeah, so his healing factor is like Wolverine or Deadpool's? No, it's not like that. His body reconfigures itself to push out poison in a body horror type way. When he was stabbed with the scorpion stingers in his arm, in his shoulder, his body morphed to turn into a mouth that then spat out the poison. It was in his system, but his body literally transfigured itself to spit the poison back out. Not his body would just break down poison overall. His body would just, like, if there's a foreign body inside of him, his body would just morph. Like, say he got stabbed in the stomach and then someone left the blade in there. His body would morph so that his stomach would open up and allow the blade to fall out in like a weird body horror, John Carpenter, The Thing type way. That's how his body has evolved. And now his body has evolved even further. So now it's no longer just fingers people need to worry about. It's now teeth and a mouth that it has to worry about. His finger growths have evolved to the point where they now include a full-on mouth. Reminds me of Akira and Naraku from Inuyasha. It reminds me of Muzan Kibutsuji. Remember when Muzan was talking to the lower-ranked Kizuki during Demon Slayer, and when he was consuming them, it was a massive growth of eyes and mouths all over when he was eating them all because they were such failures because they could barely kill a Hashira. That's what it reminded me of when I see Shigaraki's new evolution. It's just like Muzan's demon arm and demon mouths all over his body. Matter of fact, the way Muzan was near the end of Demon Slayer is akin to almost how Shigaraki is as his body is evolving. Because since he's able to open up mouths all over himself, like Muzan was able to do near the end of it, and his body's evolving just like Muzan's body did. Hiryu was clueless as to what Bakugo was talking about at the end. Props to you, dude. See, I realize that whenever I leave out something, people remind me of stuff that is there in my face, so I take time to pay attention to things a lot more often, and I'm still working on it, but that's the only obvious thing that comes to my mind. Because Shigaraki's his right side has never displayed the multi-fingered growths. It has only been from that left side. Even when he was recuperating in that cave, in that hideout with All For One, saying that Shigaraki was healing, and we saw that first instant of those finger growths come out of the cave for the very first time, but we didn't know what it was. It only came out of his left side. It never extended to his right side. So that explains to me that the right side of Shigaraki is not fully evolved like his left side. It's slowly going through his body, but it has not extended to the rest. Bakugo knows this. Even after having his arm crushed and then disrespectfully picked up, like, ain't nothing more disrespect. First of all, ain't nothing more disrespectful than putting your foot on someone's head. That's disrespectful when the shoe is on. Because Shigaraki ain't got no shoes on. When the shoe is off, there's a certain higher echelon level of disrespect of having someone's foot on your head. It's all like, you couldn't have the decency of putting a shoe on to stomp me into the ground and have your foot on my head now? Now you want to put your bare toes that have literally been everywhere up on my head right now? Not only that, but you also pick me up by my hair, by your toes, and then pick me up, and then grab me by the neck and want to kill me? Oh, the disrespect. Not in this house. We will not have no foot slander. We will not have no disrespectful foots up in my house. That's not how we do it. But yeah, Midoriya Shonen, that's the idea that popped into my head. Shigaraki's body has not fully adapted and fully evolved to the point where all of him is able to do what the left side is able to do. Because all of the things that Shigaraki has been doing this whole time has been from his left side. The finger growths, making it grow unlimitedly and cover the entire UA fortress from the inside. All that has been an extension of his left side only. And that's just his left arm. Left arm. Not even the legs. Just the arm. That's it. So that means that Bakugo has seen that even now, Shigaraki still may have a weakness. Even after getting bodied by Shigaraki and talked down to like he was, Bakugo's still fighting. This man could have lost consciousness instantly, but in the end, he was still thinking about Shigaraki's right side. Right side, finger faint. And as he sees the big three fighting Shigaraki in the back, and they're doing the very best that they can. And I would dare say that Bakugo is barely conscious right now, because the way he's drawn here, it looks like he's half conscious. He's not fully awake. Kind of akin to how Rock Lee stood back up after his fight with Gata and was prepared to fight again, or got into a stance of fighting, even though mentally he was unconscious entirely. That's what I thought. Now, real quick, MHA 360. We're not going on break from this chapter. I just want to look up something. I want to look up this chapter and see if anyone's got the synopsis of it so we can go over. Here we go. Okay, Best Jeanist takes Dynamite to the side, intending to sew up his arms since they still need his firepower. Seeing Dynamite's face of near defeat, he reiterates his concern and that they'll all deal with it somehow, even though his previous experiences fighting Tomura won't help him anymore. However, Dynamite manages to let out right side finger feint, causing Jeanist to realize that even after all of he's just endured, Dynamite is not finished yet, which sparks a determination in his eyes. Exactly as I said, Bakugo is not done fighting. And the thing is, the chapter notes say that Tomura tries to kill Dynamite, intending to use his death to enrage Izuku. Nejire-chan and Sun Eater both... Wow, they call her Nejire-chan here in the wiki. Sun Eater both unleash new ultimate moves at Tomura to attack him. Sun Eater manages to poison him, but Tomura's body adapts to resist it, growing mouths all over his body. Lemillion rescues Dynamite, handing him to Best Jeanist, and Lemillion uses Nejire's wave motions to empower his fist to actually attack Tomura. Despite his injuries, Dynamite informs Best Jeanist of his plans to retaliate. That's amazing. This is a good day for My Hero Academia chapters and One Piece chapters. Even now, because here's the thing. Shigaraki, while has the mental capacity of both All For One and Tomura inside of himself, he still has All For One's penchant for trying to mentally manipulate and mentally depress heroes in himself. Why else would he bring up that why this is the reason why you will always be Izuku Midoriya's hanger-on, a minnow in the wake of One For All? He's trying to mentally manipulate Bakugo into feeling less than himself, causing him to do something foolish, which in turn can give Tomura an edge, because he wanted to try and kill Bakugo because he wanted Izuku Midoriya to be... He wanted Midoriya... Why did I say his full name? He wanted Midoriya to be ultra enraged. So I guess he can make the fight worthwhile, maybe? I don't know. But failed because he was rescued by Lemillion. And now we got the big three fighting Tomura. And I say this every chapter, it's literally anyone's guess where we go from here as far as the story is concerned, because we could cut back to All For One as he's regenerating, fighting against the heroes. We could cut back to Asui and Uraraka fighting against Himiko Toga. We could cut back to Aoyama and Fat Gum going up against one of Tartarus's imprisoned escapees, prison escapees. Or we could cut to Midoriya, who's flying over the ocean right now, still about to confront whatever's flying over to the ocean towards him. So it's literally anyone's guess where we go from here as far as the story is concerned. All I can say right now is that this has been a fantastic month for One Piece, a fantastic month for... Wait a minute. Oh, snap, I gotta do my reflections on a Sunday. Ah, snap, I gotta do my reflections on Sunday. That's gonna be a busy Sunday. I'll figure it out. Overall, I enjoyed this chapter. I'm looking forward to the next one. Don, sorry that you missed out on my One Piece chapter reaction. All I know is that things are getting even more crazy and even more hectic in the story of My Hero. First, we got All For One, who's used a trump card to start his body regenerating, and I mean his face regenerating back to the way it was, because an eye regenerated and an ear regenerated, and both of those things were destroyed during his second to last fight with All Might, and that's why he always been in this covered up, cauterized state in the past. We got that going on. That's already the fear of a fully realized and fully regenerated All For One. That's already a scary thought. Then we got Tomura, whose body continues to evolve as it's growing not only fingers, but mouths now. He probably wants to enrage Deku to limit his mental capacity. Like last time he heard Bakugo, Deku got so mad that he stopped strategizing and allowed himself to get crazy enough for Shiggy to touch him. Exactly, you're right. I completely forgot that Midoriya went completely ballistic. I forgot. I immediately forgot it. I forgot the way Midoriya was when he skewered Bakugo in midair, and it just sent Midoriya into overdrive, where he just lost all sense of reasoning and just wanted to pound Shigaraki into the ground. I completely forgot about that. That's the reason why. Lower Midoriya's ability to think collectively so that he can try and take One for All from him. Because if he's fighting a thinking Midoriya, it's going to be a hard fight. But if he can enrage Midoriya, then he can cause Midoriya to make mistakes. And a hero making a mistake in this story usually winds up with them getting severely injured, never to be a hero again, or them dying. Either one of the two. That's the only reason why. Because Midoriya is smart. He's very smart. Though he's had this power for a while, he's learned over the years. I might as well say years. Feral Deku is your favorite thing, so hyped to see his reaction when he gets here. Seeing his best friend Kacchan. Seeing him with a mangled arm? Oh yeah, it's gonna make him upset. And granted, remember, we saw Midoriya who looked almost like a villain when he was out hunting the Tartarus escapees just to find out where All For One is. That version of Midoriya was just absolutely monstrous. Imagine what Midoriya is gonna be like when he comes there to see his rival and friend just massively hurt with a mangled arm, crushed arm, and to all of his friends fighting for their lives. Oh yeah, Midoriya is about to pull out all stops. I'm looking forward to it. But, ladies and gentlemen, let me not keep you here any longer than I already have. I wanted to give my thoughts on the chapter, and I thought this was another fantastic chapter as well. I'll give this one like a solid 9 out of 10 as well. I'm sorry, I was just massively hyped from the One Piece chapter that happened previously. But this was a very, very, very solid chapter of My Hero Academia as well, and I'm looking forward to where the story goes from here. There's a lot of loose ends to tie up, but I think we're getting closer to it. We're getting closer to the end. Well, I wouldn't say the end, but we're getting closer to tying up some more loose ends, and I'm okay with the pacing. I don't know about you guys, but I feel like the pacing for these fights that are going on right now, they don't feel like they're being just overwhelmingly dragged out just to build tension needlessly. That's not how I feel about these chapters. They actually feel like they're being quite nicely paced. At least that's how it feels to me. But that's all I got, ladies and gentlemen. Let me not keep you here. Let me go ahead and bring this to a close because I still got a One Piece episode reaction to do. And then I still got some food to eat, which my family said that they were going to bring to me, so I'll probably have to double check with them. Overall, a fantastic day for My Hero Academia and One Piece fans. All I can say at the end of the day is, hope you all enjoyed. Can't wait to see you all in my next video. And if you're new to the channel and you enjoyed what you saw here today, then like, subscribe, and maybe even consider becoming a member because I am always looking forward to entertaining you. So have a fantastic day, and once again, as always, later peoples. Whew, what a day. It's just been a good day overall. Let me just say that. It's just been a good day overall.